Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Monza and the first race in round 2 for the Trofeo Pirelli in the Ferrari Challenge. A beautiful warm day greets the drivers as they make their way onto the grid for their first Trofeo Pirelli race. The hard work was done in qualifying earlier, and it was the partner of that young lady that put it on pole position. More about that in just a while. Here is the 2017 calendar. We have already visited Valencia in Spain. We're in Monza. We have Budapest, La Casale, Silverstone, Imola, and the glittering World Finals in Mugello to come. So Monza then set, as this historic circuit is, in the middle of a fantastic national park in Monza. Dependent on traffic, we are 25 minutes or so from central Milan, and a beautiful location for a racing circuit, that's for sure. 5.793 kilometers it is, with some 8 turns, and some of those prove to be arguably more challenging than the others. 28 degrees is the air temperature. The track temperature, an egg frying 40 degrees Celsius. It is jolly warm out there, and the heat within the 488 cars is oppressive, to say the very least. So Monza is where we're at for round 2. And this was a cocktail reception last night to celebrate the association with Pirelli and the long, illustrious history of the Ferrari Challenge. Right from day one, what a fabulous evening it was.
Trofeo Pirelli.
Has begun.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you, Caleb. Grazie.
And some incredible art on display in this wonderful museum. It was a great event last night, and celebrating the association with Pirelli and the Ferrari Challenge across its history, and all the cars there set for the Trofeo Pirelli Race 1 of this weekend. And we see the pro drivers down there, and there is Daniel D'Amato, a former regular in the Ferrari Challenge. As you can see, he's taken 9 wins. He's gone off and competed in other racing series now, and is supremely successful, and was very, very close when it came to qualifying this morning, but no one could come close to Daniel D'Amato. He's the man that's put it on pole position. Monza then is traditionally the circuit that opens the season for Ferrari Challenge, but such was the demand for the new 488 cars that the first round took place in Valencia, and it's round 2 that takes place here at Monza as we look at the car of Sam Smith, who last year won the AM Championship within Trofeo Pirelli by some margin, it has to be said, and therefore has been elevated to pro category for this year. And Fabio Lima, another one of the pro drivers. You can identify the pro drivers by the white sunstrip across the top of the windscreen. The AM drivers have black strips. Race finished in the points. 100% record for Fabio Lima. It's the onboard shot from the Octane 126 engineered former GP2 champion and a single-seater star who's making a big name for himself in the challenge.
Ciao, I'm Alessandro Bezzoni, Rosso Corsa Plane Racing. I was a world champion and European champion in 2015 M category, now I'm pro. Now we are in Monza, not so far from Cremona, my town, and now we go to Cremona to discover my normal life. Here we are. This is Cremona, this is my office, and this is my normal life. We are wine broker since 1965, and in my business we need high skills as in the motorsport races. Everything has started thanks to my father Mario, so we have an important family tradition. In my house, behind me, you can see all my trophies. 2015 World Champion. Back to the track in Monza. Enjoy the Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli.
A fascinating insight into Alessandro Vezzoni then, who goes from P5 on the grid. And a small wave from Alessandro then, the Rosso Corsa Pelin racer, as I say, going from P5 on the grid. Here is the grid in full for you. Daniel D'Amato then P1, Sam Smith alongside. Row 2, Fabio Lima, Philip Barron. Row 3 is Alessandro Vezzoni and Andrea Gagliardini right alongside him, going from P6 on the grid. Then we'll find Martin Nelson, who is the best of the AM drivers. He goes from P7 with Tommaso Rocca alongside. Chris Froggatt, P9 on the grid, but P3 in the AM category. Thomas Loflad. Then we see Joshua Katu and Mark Broth there from Greypool, Nottingham, going from P12 on the grid. And we find Christian Overgaard, Bien Nelson, Yushi Omuro, Jens Liebhauser, Galapata, Holger Harmsen. Now the 458s that you see on the graphics there means that they're running last year's cars. Then it's Kjærsgaard and Robin Jensen bringing up the rear of the grid. Now, assuming Robin Jensen is on the grid, it will have been a real work, because another car had to be brought down from Sweden following an off in free practice. Not absolutely sure he's on the grid, to be honest with you. Producer alongside me suggesting that probably Robin Jensen isn't on the grid. Big effort from them to try and get the car down here. Perhaps we will see it on the grid tomorrow.
Amazing feeling here in Monza. This is the home race. Fantastic proposition for me with Ferrari 488. Amazing car, really fast.
So Daniel D'Amato then is our pole sitter, and we've just heard from him, and he's the man on the very left of your screen now with Sam Smith. A brilliant qualifying from Sam Smith to put it P2 on the grid. We're looking from the Fabio Lima car then, the Octane 126 machine that goes from P3 on the grid, ahead of Philip Barron, who is alongside. Then it is Alessandro Vezzoni, Andrea Gagliardini, before we get into the best of the AMs, which is Martin Nelson and Tommaso Rocca. As the Hublot safety car is off on the formation lap. The 488s will follow. In fact, the cars will be released from the grid any moment now. And the front row of Daniel D'Amato and Sam Smith will be very enjoyable to watch into that first chicane. So the cars are released then. Then the Octane 126 driver, who has had a great deal of success to P1 and P2 in Valencia. What can he do from P3 on the grid? Well, 30 minutes, we will know the answer to that. The earlier Copa Shell race that we had, which is primarily for gentlemen racers, didn't go without its stoppage, it has to be said. Here's the pro drivers and semi-pro drivers that contest as Matteo Babalus there, one of the driver coaches and a former star driver himself. The tension begins to build in the garage of Daniel D'Amato. The CDP team, all the social media at the top of the screen for you now. How critical is that in terms of you following everything that happens across the Ferrari Challenge? And of course, the website, races.ferrari.com. All the details of the car, the participants and the series in full, and of course the Ferrari Challenge, not only here in Europe, but across Asia Pacific and North America as well. Fabio Lima then weaving from side to side to try and generate some temperature into those tyres, and also generate some temperature into the braking system as well. And the braking system is called for a lot here at Monza, a really, really high-speed circuit. As you can see, D'Amato and Smith have caught the safety car, and they will be responsible for getting into grid position, and then it is the traditional rolling lap to the start-finish line, and it will be the start of the Trofeo Pirelli Race 1 across this weekend. So the safety car takes them through the Variante Ascari, which is the 7th turn on this Monza circuit, some 5.79 kilometers. Now the cars are all grid up, ready to take to the Parabolica, and then the green flag to start the race. As the cars reach the gantry, the lights will change from red to green, and we will be racing for Trofeo Pirelli Race 1 across the weekend here in Monza. Philip Barron is one that looks like he is on a move already, side by side with Fabio Lima, trying to take that P3 position away from the former single-seater star, but Fabio Lima will have the inside going into turn number 1. Daniel D'Amato has it all his own way. Philip Barron, though, squeezes out Fabio Lima and will take that P3 position. Alessandro Vezzoni on a move as well, as a number of cars get caught out across the rumble strips there. Some of the 458s involved in that, including the German driver Holger Hansen, and also Galapata as well, I could see involved in that. Daniel D'Amato leads the race from Sam Smith P2. It's Philip Barron that is P3, and Fabio Lima has been relegated to P4. Then it's Andrea Gagliardini and Alessandro Vezzoni. Best of the AMs is Martin Nelson, but there is the number 97 car of Tommaso Rocca, another one of those AM drivers, and Martin Nelson has found his way past the number 20 car of Andrea Gagliardini, a pro driver. So Martin Nelson, who showed incredible performance in Valencia, is continuing that trend here in Monza as well. There is the Martin Nelson car, there is the Andrea Gagliardini car, the number 20 pro car, and the pro car of number 25, Daniel D'Amato it is, that leads and has already built up a significant margin over Sam Smith in P2. Now Fabio Lima is reeling in Philip Barron for P3. Barron, of course, got past Fabio Lima. Fabio Lima desperately wants to get that position back around the Parabolica. They go and head towards the chicane for the first time of asking in anger when it comes to the race. And look at this, Fabio Lima is right on Philip Barron here. Now it's at this chicane where Barron got the better of Fabio Lima last time. Barron makes that car as wide as he possibly can. Has someone gone off? No, it was just dust being kicked up from some of the absorbent fluid. There's contact between Fabio Lima and Philip Barron. but it's as they were. The start is under investigation. Just as I say it, it appears on the screen. We got that message just 1 second ago on our timing screens. So Baron, then it's Lima, then it's Alessandro Vezzoni. We saw that little portrait of Alessandro Vezzoni, and in fairness, out goes the number 80 car of Mark Brough then. Mark is out, and there's significant damage to the front of the Grey Paul Nottingham car. We'll doubtless get a replay of how that occurred. Now, I just wonder if that was ahead of that chicane where I thought. This is Fabio Lima battling with Philip Barron. There was contact between the two of them, but their places remained unaltered. And this in super slow-mo. This is how close these 488 cars get. Bosch. Lima had to take to the curbs. Barron had to take to opposite lock to control the car through the chicane. So there is Barron, there is Fabio Lima then. Their positions remain unaltered, but up the road, like a thing possessed, is Daniel D'Amato, who has already put a margin of some 2.6 seconds over Sam Smith, who is running in P2. Best of the AMs is Martin Nelson. There he is, in the centre of your picture in car number 70, making his way around the Parabolica. So it would appear that we have lost Chris Froggatt as well as Mark Brough. That's bad news. That's two British drivers out. And hopefully we'll ascertain what happened to those two drivers in due course. And there, the Martin Nelson car. D'Amato extending his lead still further. It's now up to just 4/100ths over 3 seconds. In the AM standings, it's Nelson Roca and Thomas Loflad, and off goes the number 30 car of Joshua Kartu. Joshua Kartu had an off in free practice, and there you can see, now that is that's the car of Chris Froggatt up on the grass there. There's Barron, who's left Fabio Lima in his wake a bit now, and Philip Barron is reeling in Sam Smith to a degree. So, right, there is the Joshua Kartu car into the gravel, the Ferrari Budapest car of Joshua Kartu. And there is the number 93 car of Chris Froggatt. Now, let's see any damage on that car. So, maybe the damage is at the back. And whether it was the two British drivers that had it coming together there, lend itself to support that, wouldn't it? They are the two retirements. So Daniel D'Amato then, as I mentioned, a former Ferrari Challenge regular, now lots and lots of racing in other categories. His racing experience, though, is supremely strong. And he increased another 5/10ths during that lap over Sam Smith. And the margin between them now is going to increase still further. It's up to 3.977. The battle for second position is hotting up nicely between Philip Barron and Sam Smith. And then the battle just behind that is between Alessandro Vezzoni and Fabio Lima. Alessandro Vezzoni trying to reel in Fabio Lima. Lost two cars out of the race. The number 73 car of Robin Jensen didn't make it to start the race, regrettably, despite best efforts. Philip Barron's car gets loose at the front end under braking there and compresses down as he tries to get ever closer to the Sam Smith car. And this is the closest battle, for sure. It's the battle in the pro category for P2. Now, where this is advantageous, of course, to Daniel D'Amato is it just means he can focus on what he's doing. He's unhindered. Right, let's see if we can pick up what happened to Chris Froggatt. Here. Sadly, didn't see anything on that shot. This was Barron and Lima and Smith, and there is the Chris Froggatt car. bouncing all over was the Christian Overgaard machine, and this was the onboard shot from Fabio Lima. Philip Barron making his presence known and felt, that's for sure. And Philip Barron is making his presence known now to Sam Smith, that's for sure. 4.879 is what splits P1 and P2, and the reason for that is Sam Smith is having to defend like Billy Owen against Philip Barron. Gagliardini gets the hurry up from his pit board. So there is the Sam Smith car. This Frogger car you've just seen up against the barriers there. Race leader D'Amato, here's P2, Sam Smith. Philip Barron was some 2/10 quicker than Sam Smith over the last lap. So he is marginally quicker than Sam Smith, but since Hamlet is in P2, Barron's got to find a way past him. Whilst he's doing that, that's allowing Fabio Lima in P4 and Alessandro Vezzoni in P5 to get ever closer to that battle. So Sam is effectively becoming just a little bit of a cork in a bottle here. Although perhaps it's unfair to say that because they're not as close as they could be. D'Amato on the last lap was almost a second quicker than those that are fighting over this P2. D'Amato really has got the pace underneath him. So Gagliardini has made it back past Martin Nelson. We didn't see that overtake live. So Gagliardini is now running in P6. That's the best of the AMs. Martin Nelson is P1. Tommaso Roca is P2. Those the P1 and P2 in AM. 1 point. Martin Nelson got ahead of the Gagliardini Pro car. Martin Nelson took 2 out of 2 in Valencia. Was here brimming with confidence. Rightly so, driving extremely well. Tommaso Roca chasing him down. Behind that, there's a real battle going on between Thomas Lofland, Christian Overgaard, and Jens Liebhauser, the German driver. There's Andrea Gagliardini then in the number 20 machine, who's running in P6. Tommaso Roca. Here's the all-blue car that follows the number 70 machine of Martin Nelson. Done 10 minutes of the race, and D'Amato has increased his lead on every minute of the race thus far, and it's very nearly up to 6 seconds now, the margin between P1 and P2. Fastest lap actually came on lap 2, which was a 1:50.641. Roper team once again have delivered a fantastic livery across the Martin Nelson car. And in super slow-mo replay then, P1 in the AM category for Martin Nelson, and P1 in the Pro category is for the CDP driver Daniel D'Amato. This year, of course, the Ferrari 488, and there are still 458s competing, and at the moment winning the 458 class that's included in this race is car number 269, Yoshio Mura for Stylef Squadra Corsa, who heads Holger Harmsen and Galapatar. Normal practice in the Ferrari Challenge when we get a new car, that the old car is admitted for the season. And such was the demand and orders for the new 488 machine. Liver's back end of his car just lit up a little bit there, and Alessandro Vezzoni gets a little bit closer to him. Fabio Lima is currently running P4. Alessandro Vezzoni is P5. Sam Smith, though, has seen off the charge from Philip Barron for the moment as we move into almost the second half of this race. There's Fabio Lima in the all-white car. This is Smith and Barron fighting over this P2 place in the race. Ascari chicane and head down towards the Parabolica. This is where Philip Barron will try and set up another move on Sam Smith. The line around the Parabolica, though, is absolutely critical, and you can see the brake discs light up on the Sam Smith car. Now, if Barron gets a better exit here, that will put him right alongside Sam Smith. This could be his best opportunity in the race thus far. Smith tries to make the car as wide as possible. Barron is right on the gearbox here. They are virtually touching. He pulls out of the slipstream of the Sam Smith car as they head towards the chicane. Has Barron done enough, or will he carry too much speed? Well, he did do enough, and he has made it happen. So Barron moves up into P2, driving for the Rosso Corsa team. And this has allowed Fabio Lima to get a little bit closer to Sam Smith now. And now Barron has got past. You can see the pace that Barron has. And of course also the huge experience here at the Monza track. On board from the Fabio Lima car. Well, Philip on the exit there made it very, very wide, but respect to them both, don't think there was contact between the two of them at any point in that overtake. But now, Sam is going to come under real pressure from Fabio Lima. Former GP2 single-seater star, carving himself a phenomenal career in Ferrari Challenge at the moment, and we're on board with him now for Octane 126 as he reels in the FF Corsa engineered Sam Smith car ahead of him. Takes so much curve there, it's such a fast chicane. Whoa, Sam Smith runs just a bit wide, but it's a good save from Sam Smith there, and that will have allowed Fabio Lima to get a little bit closer still. So, Parabolica then, and you can see how Barron has really opened up the gap to Sam Smith. Now he has been put past him. So once again, Sam tries to protect the inside line, because he knows Fabio Lima is nothing like as close as Philip Barron was on the last lap, but nonetheless, Lima could have a go from here. So heavy braking from both Smith and Lima. Tommaso Rocca running in P2, that in the AM category. It's the all-blue car, which is just about centre screen now. And once again, Martin Nelson is reeling in Andrea Gagliardini, the last of the pro drivers in the race at the moment. The Tommaso Rocca car lighting up a little bit. Controlled by Tommaso Rocca, who is P2 in the AM, some 2.5 seconds down on the AM leader, Martin Nelson, who, as I mentioned, is once again reeling in Gagliardini. The margin between them is 9/10, where it was over the last sector line. So Rosso Corsa working hard on the pit wall there, trying to encourage their man, but Philip Barron has got some 8.9 seconds back of the leader. So even with 13 3/4 minutes left in the race, it's going to be a really big ask. What perhaps is less of a big ask is the potential for Fabio Lima to take P3 in this race. He's P4 at the moment, and again, Sam Smith trying to make that 488 a bit wider than it is. Fabio Lima to the outside. Now this is where Philip Barron set it up perfectly in the Parabolica, and it looks like Fabio Lima has done almost a carbon copy of the same job there. Sets it up on the entry to the Parabolica, so that the exit and this start-finish straight becomes ever so easy. But Sam Smith is tracking him for every single kilometre per hour that he possibly can. But again, the entrance to the chicane is going to be Fabio Lima's. Sure enough, he moves up into P3, and Sam Smith is relegated a further place. Will he now come into the clutches potentially of Alessandro Vezzoni? Alessandro Vezzoni, as you've seen in the earlier programme piece, just the amount of trophies he has on his mantelpiece at home. He certainly knows this Monza circuit and has a better knowledge of it than Sam Smith. That must play to his advantage potentially. Well, in replay, that's how it was set up. It really is. It's the start of the Parabolica where you need to start setting up a move to overtake in the chicane. So it's 2 turns for when you need it, really. Cars roar past us, these 488s, the very first turbocharged engine in a challenge car. And just about every driver we've talked to in the paddock, only this weekend, but weekends ago in Valencia, saying this car is beyond extraordinary. It's a fantastic racing car. So Barron then is P2. He's 9.7 seconds down on the leader. Fabio Lima is just quietly getting about his job in terms of trying to reel Philip Barron in. Fabio Lima can sniff the opportunity of a P2 rather than a P3, then he's the boy that's going to be taking it. But Barron ain't going to be making it easy for him, that's for sure. So there is Philip Barron, P2, the all-white car, the Octane 126 engineered Fabio Lima. Then it's the FF Corsa Sam Smith car. Before it is the Alessandro Vezzoni machine engineered by Rosso Corsa. So through the chicane they go. Martin Nelson is leading the category, but it's the Pro category we're watching right now as Vezzoni gets on the back almost of Sam Smith. Smith seems to have a measure of Alessandro Vezzoni. Sam Smith then was AM champion last year, supremely dominant and won the AM championship with a number of rounds still to go. Such was his performances. This is Jens Liebhauser, who's chasing down Thomas Loflad. And this is the battle for third position in AM between Loflad and Liebhauser. Just behind them is Christian Overgaard. So both Loflad and Liebhauser then racing for the Gaume Motorsport team. As you can see on the graphics, following the investigation, no further action with regards to the start of the race. Just under 10 minutes to go, and Jens Liebhauser looking very lively here. Again, this is around the Parabolica. He's not been able to set that up quite as well as we've seen the pro drivers do earlier on. Fascinating to watch and also to hear. Every wheel stepping out. Tom Slowflad is able to continue to defend that P9 position in the race overall. But it's the final podium place in the AM category. You can see there, car 242 has got to give a position back to treble 2, so that's basically Galabatar. Got past Holger Harmsen in the 458 cars that were also running in this race. They're running down in P14, 15 and 16. They run in their own separate category for last year's challenge car. And Galabatar obviously found his way past Holger Harmsen with a move that was declared not legal by race control, so he's got to give that position back to the German driver Holger Harmsen. The one that's winning that is Yoshio Miura, the Stylev Squadron Porsche driver, who's out in the 458 this weekend. And there is Joshua Kartu for Ferrari Budapest, who's currently running P13. Around the Parabolica ahead of Joshua Kartu is Jan Nilsson, who is P12. Rising off the tarmac here in Monza. D'Amato, incidentally, is so far ahead of Philip Barron that he's called into a local shop to buy a drink. He has that much time available to him. It's 11.1 seconds, the difference between P1 and P2. That is extraordinary. Just on a very quick lap, though. So Fabio Lima, who's currently P3, of course it's Philip Barron that is P2, and there they come into shot right now. As I say, he's taken 4/10 out of the time of Philip Barron. So we will just keep an eye on this little battle that's going on here for the P2 honours. Running wide around the Parabolica for Philip Barron. And here comes Fabio Lima, who's, I would have suggested, not close enough to be able to try and make a move going through the first chicane. That would have needed to be much closer together. Entrance to the Parabolica. Under braking, he'll get ever closer to Philip Barron now. But very nearly a full lap to be done, another 5 kilometres or so before we can get back on to a potential overtake opportunity, certainly around the final turn here at Monza. We're on board with Fabio Lima. Much later on the brakes than Philip Barron. You could see Philip Barron's brake lights came on long before Fabio had even chosen to put his foot on the slow pedal. Whether Fabio just feels he's got better tyre balance. The tyre wear has been less for Fabio Lima than Philip Barron. Philip Barron's car is beginning to look just a little bit wayward, whereas Fabio Lima's car looks absolutely rock solid at the moment. So this will be interesting to watch as we're into the final 5 minutes of this race. And Lima can sniff the opportunity of a P2 here. Sam Smith continuing to battle with Alessandro Vezzoni, but for the moment he's shown Vezzoni a clean pair of heels. Truth, Alessandro has never really looked close enough to be able to mount a challenge. Right, Fabio Lima and Philip Barron both know how to work the Parabolica, and that means that Barron will be in a good position to defend and make it even harder for Fabio Lima to come up with a little trick that's going to work. But look how close they are. They're outside the white line, and this is extraordinary. Lima and Barron absolutely side by side. Lima very nearly having to take to the wall. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact between the two of them. Neither of them make the chicane. Now at that point the overtake hadn't happened, so I don't think Philip's going to have to yield that position because neither of them made it through. And that, if I'm honest with them, was a little bit scrappy for two pro drivers. Well, we have 3 minutes of this left, and I say track limits, I mean, both cars would be on the white line. What are you going to do? Penalise both of them? Rules is rules, I would say. And I wonder whether Fabio's picked up a puncture, because the car is all over the shop now. So, I mean, to be fair, I think Philip tried to turn in, didn't he, but couldn't because the gap was full of Fabio Lima. And I think Fabio was the one that was not going to be able to make the turn. He looked more vulnerable, to be honest. So whether he's picked up a puncture, he seems to have sorted it out now. Now, that is a back-marking car that is having its rear-view mirror full of lights. It's the Palais Kiersgaard car. Baron will want that out of the way. Oh, now this back marker could come into play here. There goes Baron. Just look at the pace that Lima has got. He is able to reel Baron in. As they cross the timing line, we're going to get what? We might get 2 more laps out of this. So to the chicane again. Both cars heavy braking. And I thought when, the Fabio Lima car started handling really badly, whether he picked up a puncture, but clearly not. Because Lima now is being able to match Baron. Baron did a 151.744 last time. Lima was a 152.081. But that was, in my view, because Lima had a really squalid time of it following the chicane or non-chicane that incidentally, as you can see, the instant involvement cars 91 and number 8 is under investigation. I don't know what they're going to do because nobody gained anything out of it. Positions remain unaltered. Now, what can Fabio Lima do? We're on board with the D'Amato team down there. Because whilst all this is going on, Daniel D'Amato, you can see his father Renata there. Just look how much grass is in the cooling ducts of the Philip Baron car. Throw everything through the chicane. And now this is where Fabio Lima needs to try and line up and get close enough to Philip Baron to sort a pass out. And he isn't anything like close enough. Philip Baron here will have seen off the challenger of Fabio Lima. Brake discs light up as Baron goes through the parabolica here, and Fabio Lima nothing like as close this time around. It was a battle over P2, and we're on to the final lap then. 12 seconds advantage. Daniel D'Amato hands over Philip Baron, who we see now breaking into the chicane. So, of course, the driver who, over the previous couple of laps, has really had to defend from that man, Fabio Lima. This is our race leader, though, Daniel D'Amato. Forgive us, we've not seen too much of him on screen. The reason being the battles have all been thick and fast behind him. But he has just quietly got about doing his job extremely well. 12 seconds the margin he has. Well, 4 1/1000ths short of it. What a phenomenal race performance from Daniel D'Amato. And they're on the pit wall. They're ready to congratulate their driver home. And this should be a win for Daniel D'Amato, the pro driver, driving car number 25 for the CD Green team. Through the chicane for the last time of asking in the race. Now he has a back-marking 458 car ahead of him, which will not cause him any problems because he's got enough time between himself and P2 to iron a set of race overalls for tomorrow's race, because these ones will be soaked in champagne and won't be usable tomorrow. As Daniel D'Amato will head towards the checkered flag. The team are ready to offer their congratulations to him. Daniel D'Amato wins in fine style and takes the first Trofeo Pirelli race of the weekend. P2 goes the way of Baron. Where is Fabio Lima? Fabio Lima, 12 seconds. 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 can't even see him in that shot. And I still can't see the Fabio Lima car. So Sam Smith takes P3. Alessandro Vezzoni will take P4. Wow. Irrespective of whether we see Fabio Lima, there is Lima crawling the car across the timing line. It's irrelevant because cars number 91 and number 8 are going to get a drive-through penalty. Clearly they cannot take that now, so that will elevate Sam Smith to P2, Alessandro Vezzoni to P3. Whoa, talk about drama in the final stages of the race. Martin Nelson is the winner in the AM category. Tommaso Roca is P2, and P3 is Jens Liebhauser. Those in the AM category. We save all the drama for the end of the race. My goodness me. To the right of your picture is Renato D'Amato, Danielle's father. I have to say, I'm very surprised they've got a drive-through penalty. So I don't think either Baron or Lima took any advantage or disadvantage out of the move. They nearly took each other out, potentially, but they're both pro drivers and they wouldn't let that happen. But rules are rules, and they were certainly both outside the track limits. There's the confirmation on screen for you that cars 91 and 8 have a drive-through penalty. Now, Philip Barron might not be aware of that yet. And he certainly isn't going to be very chipper about it when he does hear about it. So the drive-through penalty, of course, will be converted to a time penalty, which will be taken. Now, Lima's car, as you can see, I'm not sure it even crossed the start-finish line. It did? Okay. But he finished down there, way down the order, because of the time penalty that he will take instead of the drive-through. Right, here is classification. D'Amato takes the win from Smith P2, Vezzoni P3. Baron retains P4, Gagliardini is P5. Best of the AMS, Martin Nelson, P6, actually in the race, but P1 for the AMS. Then Roca, Liebhauser, Loflad, Overgaard. Now we think that Lima is going to be P11, and we're right. P11 for Fabio Lima then it was Nielsen. Car 2, Omura. Attar is the second of the 458 drivers. It will be Omura that we see up there on the podium, the Style F Squadra Corsa driver for the 458 category. What a lot of explaining to do. So there is Daniel D'Amato. Being congratulated by the team. And there, Alessandro Vezzoni. Nice little portrait in the program earlier regarding Alessandro Vezzoni, and look at the delight from the FF Corsa team that Smith takes P2 in the race.
Like to the people, then I saw like bar coming through, and then like you come.
Trying to listen in to some of the conversations that are going on. So Philip Barron, of course, got hit with a penalty back in Valencia, which cost him a podium in race 2. 2 races in a row. That's not a good record, is it? But Philip is one of those drivers that gives it 125%. 8 times out of 10 it pays off. Alessandro Bezzoni then. Potentially lost a kilo of weight, I should think, in that race. And there's Martin Nelson, the best of the AMs. And in fairness to Martin Nelson, that now is 3 out of 3.
I'm really sweaty now.
Apologises for his body odour before he hugs. Thomas O'Rourke in there for... and there you can see Sam Smith, who hasn't yet even got his crash helmet off. So Thomas O'Rourke and Martin Nelson. All the drivers will head off to the podium. Basically, when it comes to Trofeo Pirelli races, we see the Pro podium, then the AM podium as well. And you do see the best of the 458 drivers up there on the Pro podium also. So drivers heading off now. And as they head off to the podium, I suspect Barron and Lima have probably headed off to the steward's room to have a little discussion. So they are on their way to the podium ceremony. Pro, AM, and the best of the 458 drivers we will see up there. The podium is being readied then. The drivers haven't quite made it to the gantry, which is to the left of our commentary position here in Monza. That's Sam Smith's best result of the season so far, where last year he was supremely dominant in the AM category. He has been elevated to Pro for this year. Best result this year too for Alessandro Bezzoni. Down there. Sometimes just interesting to listen in to those conversations. So told that the first podium that we're going to see will be the AM podium. So we'll see Martin Nelson, Thomas O'Rourke and Jens Liebhauser up there on the podium. Some of the spectators enjoying the racing that we have seen. 2 more races to come from Coppichelle and Trofeo Pirelli. 1 more race to come from Coppichelle and Trofeo Pirelli tomorrow. The drivers then, we're told, for the AM podium. They've gone behind the podium to take on some fluid before making it out and appearing in front of their public, and it's completely understandable. So 70th anniversary year of Ferrari and the Ferrari Challenge here in Monza. The all-new 488 car is the challenge car for the year. More conversations going on down there in the pit lane. So Jens Liebhauser, Thomas O'Rourke, and the winner in the AM category is Martin Nelson. National anthem to play out then. trophy presentation time now. Francesco Bianchi, president of Ferrari Europe and Africa, the man that will be making the trophy presentations. Tommaso Rocca receives his P2 trophy. Martin Nelson receives his. Another one to add to the heavy-duty mantelpiece that Martin Nelson must employ. I think it was Jens Liebhauser that was first with the champagne. Might be Tommaso Rocca, I might be doing him a disservice there. So they will pose for the photographs. Then the man with the mop will appear and hose down the podium before we get to. So this is where it all went wrong for Fabio Lima. Through the chicane, onto the gravel, but curb, the runoff, and the car is beginning to slow. Valiant effort to try and nurse it back to the start-finish. You can hear him screaming down the team radio, and what's the worst sound is all those 488s screaming past the stricken Fabio Lima car. So the photographs then, as I promised, and then it will be the pro podium, complete with the best of the 458 drivers as well, which is Yoshio Miura. Super slow-mo's the top three then. Jens Liebhauser then, third best of the AM drivers in that Trofeo Pirelli race. Tommaso Rocca, second best in the AM category for Trofeo Pirelli. It's 3 out of 3 now for this man, Martin Nelson for Scuderia Autoropa. A striking liveried car, he takes yet another AM win. Congratulations, Martin Nelson. So back up to the podium we will go, but before we do that, in the AM Drivers' Championship, look at the lead. Martin Nelson has 63 points over 39 for Jens Liebhauser. Tommaso Rocca is P3 on 36 points with Chris Froggatt. Bear in mind, is a rookie into this, 34 points. Sadly, he didn't finish the race today. But Joshua Cartu, Christian Overgaard, Mark Ruff, Thomas Loflad, Robin Jensen, and Per Nielsen. Right, back to the podium then, and the pro podium to come here at Monza. P3 goes the way of Alessandro Bezzoni. 2015 world champion, of course. Sam Smith up there for P2. And Daniel D'Amato, who frankly looked absolutely invincible today. When you consider he was up against the likes of Fabio Lima and the best of the 458 drivers, Yoshio Miura. Trophy presentation time then. Next race, as you can see, is Coppershell race 2 tomorrow. So the P3 trophy presented to Alessandro Vezzoni. Sam Smith takes his. And the winner is Daniel D'Amato. Trophy, and then the best of the 458 drivers, Yoshio Miura. I'm not going to miss out on his kiss with the trophy girl. Fair enough. Right, Photographs with trophies held aloft. Pirelli trophy, of course. And also in the 458 category. Right, who will be first with the champers then? Doing a good job with it. So super slow-mos of the cars in Pro then. Sam Smith taking P2. Winning car though from CDP was the number 25 machine of Daniel D'Amato. All the information, racers.ferrari.com is the website to go to for all the information with regards to Ferrari Challenge. And I urge you to check out that website. And there in the Trofeo Pirelli Drivers' Championship, Fabio Lima still leading on 43, Philip Barron's on 37, Bjorn Grossman 36, Sam Smith on 33, the top four in the points, the way it looks at the moment. Another race to come, as I mentioned, for Trofeo Pirelli tomorrow, and they all look very, very different then. We will see. Make sure you join us for that if you possibly can. Tommaso Roca is celebrating. And in the Rosso Corsa garage. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow.